Have you ever had the strange feeling that you're doing everything right and still feel slightly absent from your own life? You wake up, you answer messages, you do what's expected, you smile at the right moments. And then, somewhere underneath all of that, a quiet thought appears. Wait, is this actually me? Carl Jung spent much of his life thinking about that question, and he said something simple but unsettling. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Now that sounds inspiring. It also sounds exactly like the kind of sentence people post online, right before disappearing for 3 days and calling it healing. But Jung meant something much deeper. He believed most people don't begin life as themselves. We begin life as adaptations. As children, we learn quickly what gets approval. Be polite, be useful, don't be difficult, don't cry too much, don't be weird. And if you are weird, at least be weird in a socially acceptable way. So naturally, we build a version of ourselves that fits. Jung called that the persona. The persona is your social self, your public face, your I'm fine face, your yes, absolutely, I understand the spreadsheet face. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need a persona. If everyone said exactly what they were thinking all the time, civilization would collapse before lunch. The problem isn't wearing a mask. The problem is forgetting it's a mask. That's when something strange happens. Because while you're busy becoming acceptable, other parts of you get pushed aside. Your anger, your fear, your ambition, your jealousy, your vulnerability, your real opinions, all the parts that didn't get applause. Jung called that the shadow. Now, shadow sounds dramatic, like you're secretly a villain. Usually, it's much less glamorous. Sometimes, your shadow is just the honest part of you that learned it was inconvenient. Maybe you were told you were too emotional, so now you pretend nothing bothers you. Maybe you were told confidence was arrogance, so now you constantly minimize yourself. Maybe you learned that being lovable meant being easy, so now you say yes when every cell in your body means no. And here's Jung's most uncomfortable point. The parts of yourself you ignore do not disappear. They simply go underground. And from there, they influence everything. That's why people keep saying, why do I always do this? Why do I keep ending up here? Why do I keep choosing the same kind of pain, just wearing different clothes? Jung's answer was brutal in its simplicity, because what remains unconscious still controls you. That's why one of his most famous ideas still hits so hard. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That line matters because fate sounds noble. Unexamined pattern sounds a little more personal and probably less fun, but also more useful. Because the moment you see a pattern, you are no longer completely trapped inside it. And that's where Jung becomes unexpectedly hopeful. He didn't think becoming yourself meant becoming perfect. He wasn't interested in perfection. Honestly, if perfection is the goal, most of us are already exhausted. Jung cared about something better: wholeness. Wholeness means you stop pretending you are only one thing. You can be kind and angry, strong and afraid, confident and uncertain. That isn't contradiction. That's being human. A mature person isn't someone with no darkness. A mature person is someone who knows where the darkness is and doesn't let it run the meeting. That changes everything, because most people spend years asking, how do I become more impressive? Jung asks a much stranger question. What if the real work is becoming more real? That question can rearrange your life, because suddenly success looks different. Maybe success is not becoming the person everyone admires. Maybe success is becoming the person you don't have to recover from every night. Maybe freedom is not doing whatever you want. Maybe freedom is not being unconsciously ruled by fear, approval, old wounds, and habits you never chose. That's what Jung meant by freedom, not the absence of limits, but the presence of awareness. If fear appears and you automatically obey it, that isn't freedom. If anger appears and you automatically become it, that isn't freedom. If someone disapproves of you and your whole identity starts shaking, that isn't freedom. Freedom begins in a very small moment, the moment you notice the impulse, and don't immediately become its servant. That's why Jung called it a privilege, not a guarantee, not something age automatically gives you. A lot of people grow older. Not everyone becomes themselves, because becoming yourself requires honesty. And honesty is expensive. It asks difficult questions. Why do I need approval so much? Why do I disappear in certain rooms? Why do I keep pretending not to want what I clearly want? Why do I keep calling survival personality? Those questions are uncomfortable, but they are also doors. And usually, becoming yourself doesn't happen in one cinematic moment. There's no dramatic music, no mountaintop, no glowing revelation. Usually it happens quietly. Someone asks what you think, and for once, you answer honestly. You realize you're hurt, and instead of acting above it, you admit it. You notice a dream you've been chasing isn't actually yours. Small moments, but every honest moment removes another layer, until one day, underneath all the performance, you meet someone strangely familiar. Not a new person, not a better person, the person who was there before the world started editing. And maybe that is what Jung meant. Maybe the privilege of a lifetime is not becoming extraordinary. Maybe it is something much rarer, becoming unmistakably your own.